Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Just wanted to express my deep sadness about the world situation. I have to highlight that this ongoing war and fighting throughout the Middle East is a very sad and depressing thing, in my opinion, that has not gone unheard, of course. Yet the current systems in power, like the United States of America, the other world powers such as Russia, the European Union, or the Asian players, they seem not to really be aware of the reasons behind why all these troubles actually came into place or started in the first place. We do have illegal criminal things going on in all these entities, such as the United States, where people suggest that President Obama might have his origins in Africa or in Indonesia. We have the 9/11 issue that has not been solved until now. We have so many activities in America that have been trying to bring light to what has really been going on at 9/11, where most likely, according to Rebecca Roth, the CIA and the FBI, together with the Mossad, actually implemented and detonated a nuclear bomb below the World Trade Center, thereby destroying major data volumes within the towers, as well as within Building 7, which has been the headquarters of, as far as I know, the CIA, Homeland Security, and some other secret agencies, while at the same time using hologram technology that they probably got from grey alien sources from whoever knows, to cheat the world, to blind the world. We all remember that George Bush sat in the classroom holding the book the other way around, while he got the information that a plane hit the first tower. A real president concerned about his nation would have stood up, shocked, fully in panic. He would have run out and flew firsthand to the place to see what has been going on, and then would have taken action against the so-called terrorists. Yet the number one terrorist was sitting in the school, doing nothing but continuing with the school and his misinformation campaign in this American school. Until today, the American authorities have maintained their protection over this conspiracy. Then we have a similar situation in Russia, where the former oil tycoons have managed to climb to power and have now managed to run the country completely. Opponents such as Khodorkovsky and several other people have been jailed, have been put into prison, have been removed, so that there cannot be any opposition forces anymore at all. You have to be lucky to find opposition voices throughout the internet in Russia and from Russia. The same also in Asia. In Asia, people get executed on a daily basis, and here in the European Union, you get attacked. People shout at you. People speak badly about you when you say that the Federal Republic of Germany is nothing but a corporate entity. The Federal Republic of Germany, as a nation, as a state, as you know, was abolished in 1990 by the Allies. Article 23 of the Basic Law of the Grundgesetz had been eliminated by the Allies. That was James Baker and Mr. Shevardnadze from Russia, the foreign minister at that time. And I believe that they have done it in order to give a new free German state a chance. This German state would have probably, from my perspective, emerged out of the Second German Empire, which is still the legitimate base and founding of the German nation. The Allies had implemented Reichschancellor Wolfgang Ebel in the 1980s. We have the written documentation and proof that this was really the case. Well, at the same time, the Allies diminished the power and the realm of activity of the Federal Republic of Germany, which is now actually nothing less but a corporate entity. That's why GmbH, that's a German entity ending, Federal Republic of Germany, GmbH, you can look it up in the Worldwide Company Directorate, such as UPIC and many others. You can also find all the other German ministries, such as Finance Ministry or Health Ministry, when you use the German translation, Gesundheitsministerium or Finanzministerium or this and that Court, Amtsgericht Jena, Amtsgericht Berlin. You can look it up in UPIC or in Dun and Bradstreet, and you can find the company registration, you can find the director, the registry, the director that has been registered in the registry that has been responsible for this corporate entity. So it's all a fake, and we have the Reichschancellor, we have several Reichschancellors at the same time debating and competing against each other due to the total mess that we have been having here in Germany, where secret German services, together with CIA and other secret services, spread a lot of misinformation against the Second German Reich, and that it's the legitimate basis for Germany to build up the future nation. So many people are scared, are not sure what is now the real government. Well, at the same time, we have this Bundesrepublik Deutschland under the leadership of Angela Merkel supply weapons, conducting private wars together, like in the case of Syria and Iraq, with the Kurdish factions, with the Peshmerga people. They all believe that what they do from their perspective is the right thing, yet from my perspective, all what they do is to defend themselves. Let me remind you that the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran and all the other scriptures have said that anybody who will defend himself will be destroyed by God in the end. This destruction by God cannot and will not come in a second, like when you shoot somebody. It will come slowly. It might take up to 80 or 90 years, and you will die a natural death, and this is it for you. But it might also come by other accidents that you might not be aware of. So the real course of humanity and of this earth would have to be completely different. It would have had to start on a legitimate democratic level basis that the Second German Reich has always been, before Adolf Hitler, after Adolf Hitler, after 1990. Yet most people in Germany and worldwide ridicule this legitimate basis. By doing so, they ridicule the entire world history. They argue, for example, that now Asia is far more important than Europe and Germany, and this is why Asia can now work with Angela Merkel as from their perspective, their official chancellor. Obama, as an opportunist, from my perspective, has been just doing the same. And those nations that have a more clear opinion on these things, such as some South American nations, these nations are so scared or afraid or confused, or they are very intelligent and smart that they not interfere anymore in this global conspiracy and mess anymore at all. Let me give you a warning. The warning is that if this will continue, this chaos and mess and self-defending strategies, then this will eat up everything. The wars in Syria, Iraq, Libya have not been brought to peace. In fact, they have been growing more and more. It has been causing domino effects, like when the Europeans supply the Kurdish people, then the Iranians supply the Shia people, then the people of Saudi Arabia supply their factions. The Israelis, in fact, get worried about the spreading war, and they supply their factions. Then we have Hezbollah and we have other factions that in turn then rise up and see that the situation is not getting better. As far as I know, the Holy Bible is speaking of a lake of fire, the See des Feuers, in which they all will be thrown into. And from my perspective, this lake of fire is this conflict, that is this fire that is growing and growing. I say it in German again, because it's so important. Der See des Feuers, der aus meiner Sicht in der Bibel und in den anderen heiligen Schriften, auch im Koran, erwähnt wird, ist dieser nicht mehr endende, nimmer endende Krieg im Mittleren Osten, der jetzt langsam alle Nationen aufzehren wird. Sie werden reingezogen und sie werden mitmachen und sie werden gar nicht merken, dass sie schon Teil davon sind. This lake of fire will eat up, will spread, it will, whenever you use even the word terrorist, that has been coined by the criminal dictator George Bush, who himself is the #1 terrorist on this planet. This word terrorist will eat you up. This terrorism will be attracted to you whenever you use this word terrorist. Whenever you call another person a criminal, you have to be very careful that you didn't do a crime yourself anytime throughout all your past life, your life in the past, because if you accuse others of being criminals, like Jesus of old said 2000 years ago, those who have no guilt, who are completely innocent, they can throw the first stone. And then basically nobody was able in the round at that time to throw a stone. It would be much better to remember this situation there, and to not use any weapons, and to not do anything, and to not even get involved in this war. As some generals from all these different factions have said, that in the past they had, and they still maintain, connections to all so-called factions and Muslim groups in the world, and the West wouldn't have to get involved at all. It wouldn't have to get involved at all yet. The colonial or the colonial thinking, or the wish to dominate or to survive is bringing the world leaders and these fake criminals, the fake world leaders, to join in these wars, to join in the game of chess that has been offered to you, while you could at the same time have a pretty good life and not get involved at all. So David Cameron got trapped. He himself, a criminal and stealer, disrespecting God and Jesus, would have had the chance to live a peaceful life and not colliding with this mess in the Middle East. Yet now he is also sending troops and sending weapons and bombing people. And you can be sure, just like Russia, that when you throw a bomb from 1 kilometer height from an airplane, that this bomb will very likely not hit the target. This has been proven by all the cameras from private people and from military that has been involved in these wars. Russia has been, and the refugees have been telling me this, have been hitting many private homes with private families, private hospitals, and all, and you name it. And so has America done in the Iraq war, in Libya, and now in Syria and Iraq. And this is like karma, which will come back. When you kill somebody that you haven't even met, even though you wanted to kill somebody else, which you think is a real criminal, then this guy or this family that you killed 1 or 2 members of will never forget that this bomb was thrown out of an American airplane or thrown out of a Russian helicopter. And so this will continue and grow into a never-ending war. Like I will never forget that my rights and my opinion has been overgone by the illegal criminal German fake government and by Angela Merkel dictatorship, when she started to supply weapons to Peshmerga rebels. That's my opinion. I have to say it like that because until now I was able to live without a weapon, and I believe that God gave everybody the chance and the possibility to live without a weapon, and also to the Kurdish nation, which I respect, and to the Sunni Islam, or Sunni Muslims, which I respect, and there would not be a need at all to confront each other with weapons. These guys who fight against each other, they're all rebels and criminals from my perspective. The German military are fully criminal mercenaries, such as the Americans, such as the Sunnis who fight there, such as the Kurdish people who fight there. This is all a no-go for a clear, observing, neutral mind. So please be warned to not get involved in this at all. Try to live your peace every day. Try to be a vegetarian. Try to live in harmony with nature, with animals, with all your surroundings. And God will open new options for you, where you can see this idea, this ideology being confirmed to you 1,000 times. Yeah. I see that God has opened a little bit a channel for me where I can find my peace without having to think how to revenge or how to punish this or that. And there will be more ways and scenarios where people can find their peace, even though there is indeed a world war going on. And yeah, maybe this is God's plan that it's this way, but please try your best to not get involved. Thank you, and God bless you, and have a good time. Bye bye.